Like it said, Chike Isiuwe is my name. I'm doing very well to adopt a Kenyan name. And I think I love the Otieno because they seem to be very popular names. And most of the Otienos I hear and I see are big people up there. So maybe I should just adopt one, so that I can use that to identify myself in Kenya. Sorry. All right, so good afternoon. I think it's been a wonderful day, so much to learn, so much engagement, and so much interaction. And I think this is what SMEs need across Africa, because most times when SMEs set up and operate in silos, they die very young, because they don't know what is going on around businesses. They don't know what is going on, how businesses shape up over time. Like the introducer said, I'm the MD for UBA Kenya. And one of my friends used to say that when you are in an environment like this, for most of us individuals, before you say something, you translate it. All of us grew up with our local languages. You think of it, internalize it, then you say it. So perhaps when you don't understand me, know that I'm trying to translate Igbo language to English, which might be in conflict with trying to translate Swahili or any of the Kenyan languages into English. UBA, which is the bank I represent and I work for in Kenya, is a Pan-African bank. We pride ourselves as Africa Global Bank because we currently sit in 20 African countries. Across Africa, we run from West through Central Africa into East Africa, then a bit into Southern Africa. So in East Africa, we're present in Kenya, in Tanzania, and in Uganda. Then a bit stretching downwards, we're in Zambia and in Mozambique. So that for us means that we speak 3 languages. We speak English, French, and Portuguese. So for us, we just do that seamlessly. And more important for us, and the experience that we bring to bear, particularly with regards to SME businesses, is that we learn across Africa. We think that there is no other bank in Africa that understands African businesses more than UBA, because if you look at the name, our name says United Bank for Africa. So we are set up for African businesses and to try to unify African businesses. Because what is business really? Most of us here are producing one item or the other, be it tangible or intangible, and you are selling it to another party. So that's purely what we have as business. Whether you are developing platforms, IT, products, at the end of the day, you are seeking for who is going to buy your product. And that is where we do come in as a bank. Because being a bank, we are able to provide the platforms that enables this interchange of goods and services. Because for whatever you sell, I'm sure you are not an NGO that perhaps is giving out free. So obviously, the party who is buying from you is going to be making payments. That's where we come in as a bank, because we drive payment platforms that enables you to ensure that as you sell, you collect. And for SMEs, this is about one of the biggest challenges. Most times I do know that if I ask most of us here, what's our critical requirement? Most of us will say financing. But financing, in the real sense of it, can be generated internally without having to really go and borrow. And that is where spontaneous financing comes in. And that simply means that as you sell, you are able to get your sales proceeds. Some of us have critical products that people even pay in advance, but without the market knowledge, without the right visibility, and the need to drive businesses along these structures. Some of us go and borrow first, and start struggling later to sell, which most times becomes a challenge with the business growth. So in Kenya, we currently sit, our head office is in Westlands, and in Nairobi we have 3 branches, one in Westlands, one in Upper Hill, and the third one in Enterprise Road, on Enterprise Road. Then we equally have a branch in Mombasa and in Nakuru. So how are we structured to support SME businesses? First and foremost, like I had said before, is that we provide a veritable platform to enable you collect your sales proceeds, to enable you make payments. I do know that in East Africa, particularly Kenya, M-Pesa is just universal, yes. But for us, we equally provide you with our internet banking solutions that enables you to make payments, and a variety of collection platforms that enables you to collect your sales proceeds. Then secondly, and very key, and it's the fact that as a bank, we owe it a duty to our customers to sit on the same table, evaluate business, evaluate market opportunities, evaluate the business environment, because if my customer's business is doing well, that is where my growth is anchored around. So in terms of providing advisory services for businesses that we relate with, we do that to support our customers, particularly the SME businesses, because for the large corporates, they can afford the McKinseys of this world, they can afford the Pricewaterhouse and the rest of them. But SME businesses, most times, do not have the financial muscles to support this. And for us to be able to do this, we drive partnerships like the one we currently have with Sandbox and with other entities that are set up to provide knowledge to businesses. Because like Julius said, without knowledge, a lot of businesses perish, not just the individuals. So it's important that with these advisory services, us as individuals and as businesses, we're able to shape our businesses correctly, put the right structures in place to ensure that we set out, crawl, run, or rather crawl, walk, and run, which is very important, so that you don't set off from day one and you start running. If you start running where your legs are not strong, then most likely you are going to crash on the way. So we do that, and we do it to ensure that our customers get the right footing. Then we equally provide platforms that enables networking. Let me just quickly introduce the Tony Elumelu Foundation, which is part of the UBA group. Tony Elumelu Foundation is an entrepreneurship program that cuts across Africa. Despite the fact that we're present in 20 African countries, the Tony Elumelu Foundation operates within the 54 African countries. And the program is just simple. It's set out to, one, provide seed capital to support entrepreneurs across Africa. Secondly, provide them with a network and access to market. Then thirdly is to provide them with mentorship and advisory services, because for us, these are 3 critical ingredients to build a successful business. And most entrepreneurs need this, particularly at the formative stage. Once they run through all of this, it makes it easier for them to stabilize and be able to grow across board. So for some of us here, I do know that a lot of us are aware of this, but so much is the fact that we are not taking advantage of it. In fact, for this year's program, which closed in April, we had to do a lot of publications and enlightenment to get people to even subscribe in terms of apply and the rest of it. So like Julius did say, ask. Information is very important, and some of this information we can get. The seed capital that comes from this foundation is $5,000, and that is what some of us go to banks to borrow. and yet we have a very good business idea that we can apply through the process, get this as seed capital into our business. It has nothing to do with whether you are a startup or you are operating as a business already. That $5,000 can come in as seed capital at the startup stage, or it can even come in to support the business growth. It is available. People are applying and people are winning as beneficiaries. As at the 2021 application process, Kenya got 207 beneficiaries. And from inception, which is 2015 till date, Kenya alone has gotten over 786 beneficiaries. So people are applying and getting these benefits. So I want to encourage us to take advantage of it because it will support your business. But even beyond the seed capital is the fact that you get mentorship, you get training, you get network within the global Tony Elumelu Foundation network. In fact, the team in Kenya have a very strong alumni, which gives you access to information and access to market. Then very important too is the fact that in supporting our SMEs, we ensure that through our various network of subsidiaries across Africa, for those of us who have stabilized the business in Kenya and want to reach out to other parts of Africa, we provide you with that platform because that is what we are. We are set up as an African bank to connect African businesses across Africa. Then beyond Africa, we have international presence. We are the only African bank that is licensed by the FDA of the United States of America to take deposit in America. So for us, it simply means that to keep that mandate on, you know, for you to operate out of the US, most of us here know that the due diligence alone is enough to scare a lot of people out of that market. But we are there and we are strongly represented. So for us, we pride it that we represent Africa in the US. We equally have UBA in London, we have UBA Paris, we have a rep office in Paris, and before the end of this quarter, hopefully we set up shops in Dubai, that's the UAE. This 4 international presence is not for us to go and perhaps compete with the likes of Bank of America and the rest of it, no. But it's simply for us to be able to take businesses, take African businesses, support their growth aspirations, and take them to the rest of the world. Because what is trade? We are buying and selling either locally or importing or exporting to the rest of the world. We have diaspora remittances that come into Africa from most of these economies, and that is purely the essence of our international presence. So that is who we are, and I think the last mandate I was given before coming here is for me to ensure that everybody hearing me here this afternoon or evening must bank with UBA Kenya. Thank you so much for listening to me.
All right, thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. Should I? Okay. Am I expecting questions or?
No.
Okay. Or I should just share the account. I should just share the account opening form, yes, so that I can start harvesting the accounts.
Yes.
Thank you so much.